FHA SFR Appraising Handbook 4000.1, page 228. Field, area, protocol. Enter the site area in square feet or acres. This entry must be consistent with the dimensions provided in the dimensions field. Field, shape, protocol. Describe the shape of the site. For instance, is it triangular, square, rectangular, irregular, or flag lot? Field, view, protocol. Briefly describe the view from the property. None, or NA, is not an acceptable response. Identify a view with a significant positive or negative influence on the value. Photographs are required for any negative or positive view influences affecting value or marketability. Field, specific zoning classification, protocol. Enter the specific zoning classification used by the local municipality or jurisdiction, for instance, R3, R5. Appraisers are instructed to be especially cognizant of the specific zoning for 2-4 unit properties. If no zoning exists, enter none exists. Field, zoning description, protocol. Describe what the specific classification means. Include a general statement describing what the zoning permits. For example, R3 equals single family and 2 family, up to 3 dwelling units per acre. If no zoning exists, describe the prevalent use of the sites in the neighborhood. Field, zoning compliance, protocol. Determine whether the current use complies with the zoning ordinances. Some zoning codes require additional analysis to determine compliance. Mark the box indicating whether it is legal non-conforming, grandfathered use, no zoning, or illegal use. If the existing property does not comply with all of the current zoning regulations, use, lot size, improvement size, off-street parking, etc., but is accepted by the local zoning authority, enter legal non-conforming. Provide a brief explanation and state whether the property may legally be rebuilt if destroyed. If the use is not legal, the property is not eligible for FHA mortgage insurance. Field, highest and best use, protocol. Mark the appropriate box. This entry represents the highest and best use of the site as improved in relation to the neighborhood and current market conditions. If the current use represents the highest and best use, mark yes. If it does not, mark no and provide an explanation. Page 229. Field, utilities, protocol. Mark either public or other. If other is marked, describe. Public utilities mean they are governmentally supplied and regulated. Public does not include any community systems sponsored, owned, or operated by the developer or a private company, not subject to government regulation or financial assistance. Note, mechanical chlorinators or water flow that decreases noticeably while running simultaneously plumbing fixtures. Visually inspect the septic system and its surrounding area. If there are obvious or readily observable signs of system failure, require inspection to ensure that the system is in proper working order. Note, the appraiser must indicate whether a public water or sewage disposal system is available to the site. If available, connection must be made to the public or community water/sewage disposal system. If connection costs are reasonable, the mortgagee will determine whether connection is feasible. Field, off-site improvements, type, protocol. Briefly describe the off-site improvements under type. Enter the road surface material and mark public or private. For example, street asphalt, Public or alley, none. Public refers to an improvement dedicated to and accepted by a unit of government, not including HOAs. Field, FEMA, Special Flood Hazard Area. Protocol, FEMA is responsible for mapping flood hazard areas. If the property is within an SFHA, mark yes. Otherwise, mark no. Attach a copy of the flood map panel for properties located within an identified flood hazard area. Field, FEMA flood zone. Protocol, enter the FEMA zone designation. Only properties within SFHAs, such as Zones A, a special flood hazard area, and V, a coastal area, require flood insurance. Zones B, C, and X do not require flood insurance. Field, FEMA map number and FEMA map date. Protocol, enter the FEMA map number and map date. If it is not shown on any map, enter not mapped. Field, are utilities and offsite improvements typical for the market area? Protocol, mark the appropriate box indicating whether the utilities and offsite improvements are typical for the market area. If no is marked, explain why the differences and/or offsite improvements are not typical.